All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the third Sundrop Cup Series test of this offseason. We're here at the road course at Road America. I'm going to take a quick few seconds, though, at the beginning to let the fans know. Please let me know if anything goes wrong with the stream. My internet's been acting up, of course, so that if it starts buffering or starts looking very horrible, it's going to look horrible. But if it looks much more horrible, please let me know. But the reason that we are here at Road America, we have someone else in the booth, and it's someone you guys have never heard of, heard in the booth. It is now, for the first time in his career, Kyle will be joining me in the booth for Road America.
Hey Brandon, how are you doing? Excited to be here for the first SDCS test on a road course in the series history. Yeah, 29 cars here, should be a great day.
A lot of drivers pulling out. This is a very large track, about just over 2 minutes for a lap, and since the SDCS and CRTS only run 30-minute testing sessions, that means there's going to be less than probably 10 to 15 laps that these guys will only be able to run here, so get as much data as you can as they come out. You might not want to be the last one out, but there's a mad rush to get out onto the track right now. And again, 29 drivers out on this field. We only have 16 of them being in their own cars this weekend out of the 29. So I guess we can start off with the first driver out. Matt Sladek almost won here last season in the CRTS, went off the track in the number 30 truck and lost the race by that, giving Logan Cloud the win. Sladek, a great road course racer for SBR. They're putting a lot into him this season on the RCs.
Yeah, as Brandon said, third place finish here last year. Sladek's going all in on these road courses across all the series here in the Cup Series and running for Rockstar Energy Racing in the trucks. And of course, we'll run full-time for SBR once again in that Zero car. Yeah, had some good finishes on the road courses last year. Third at Road America, seventh at Mosport. But surprisingly, never got a top 10 on a road course in the Mountain Dew Custom Series last time around. So in his home series, he's hoping to have some success next time around on these road courses. But yeah, looking to get some experience in that 30 car. Here is Sladek as he's coming across the line to start, I believe, what will be his first lap. So we'll have to keep an eye on that 30 throughout this test.
He is the first one on. So Finn Guy actually out here. He will be one of the last ones with Zachary DeLello coming out. They're going to waste about 3 minutes into this testing session. But as we said, they're going to have about 10 to 15 laps to work around here. That's a lot. That's more than the NSDCS races. So they're going to have a lot of time. Sladek, though, in this 30 car, looking for some good speed out this time around. And Aiden Smith in the 05, heralded as a road course ringer for his experience on road courses before the NSDCA. He's out here for Monster Motorsports in the number 05 car. Last time out at Chicagoland, the 95 went up to the top of the charts with Vince Freeze, fell back. Aiden Smith has not had good tests in the CRTS so far. Looking to change that here on the road courses where he is very good at.
Yeah, this is Aiden Smith. Despite being a ringer, first time ever driving in the NSDCA in any sort of vehicle on a road course here at Road America. Yeah, again, as Logan and others have talked about, Smith's call to the CRTS to drive full-time for Monster Motorsports was really risky on behalf of Diego Yepes. Yepes said he wanted to see this active face in the sport for a long time, so that's why he made the move. But Smith doesn't really have anything to show for it in his stats. Only ran a full season in the Molson Modified Series, finished 11th in the standings. No wins, no top fives, an average finish of 12th. So Smith could only finish an average finish of 12th in Molson Modifieds. Imagine what he can do in Cup, and that's not a lot. So definitely a lot of concern for other drivers seeing Smith on track here at this test in Cup. So yeah, if I'm another driver, I am staying very far away from that 05, but I'm sure Yepes is hoping that the 05 is going to have a good test today here in Elkhart Lake.
Remember, of course, the last time when the CRTS was at Memphis, we had another Molson Modified driver making a truck start in Alex Parker. He crashed the car 3 times, so Aiden Smith, he knows how to get around on road courses, just going to have to hope that he can control this big clunky number 05 car. Now, Christian Vargas in the 06 driving full-time for Sauber Racing Team in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, number 08 Dodge. He'll be driving for that team for one season, and his best shot in a car ever, because all he's driven for is Ace Draw Motorsports. Out here for Harmon Betting Peterson, trying to get themselves some experience. And as you see, the 2 minute 8 second 0.0 time goes to Aiden Smith early on, but still a lot of time left. We'll see how that goes. But Christian Vargas in the 06 this weekend.
Yeah, on that first lap, Vargas looks to be pulling about half a second behind leader Aiden Smith. But yeah, Vargas, again, driving full-time for Sauber this season. Good to have him back for a full schedule in the NSDCS. And of course, you'll see him a little bit in the trucks with Sauber and Mercedes. That'll be his ride for the Crown Royal 300. Yeah, Vargas, in last year in Mountain Dew Custom Series, able to get a 6th place finish with Reed Racing at Old Spice. Otherwise, he has no top 20s in his career in the NSDCA on road courses. So yeah, definitely good for Vargas to get some more experience out here, even if it is with Harmon Benning Peterson. Certainly, some laps is better than no laps. So definitely getting some laps here on a road course will definitely be helpful for Vargas, as he's going to have a lot of time to challenge these road courses with Sauber, hopefully on 2 levels, maybe even some more or less going down. We'll see what happens with Vargas this season. But yeah, good to see him out here. Good to see him have a chance to drive for HBP. And also good to see HBP even out here utilizing these test sessions to gain experience, gain some research and development. And maybe, just maybe, it'll lead to some good performances on these tracks throughout the season if they're able to attempt the races.
HBP hoping that their Crown Royal 300 race will go on swell. They only have this one car, so they're going to have to hope that no one crashes it out in the testing, because then they'll have to try to scrap one together for Daytona. That is the only entry they have right now, but hoping that they'll be able to continue on. Looking back, there is your defending Crown Royal Truck Series champion Carson Bowers making his laps. And as we were talking about that, some familiar faces up top. In the 28 car, which we'll talk about later, Zach Rogers goes to the top of the charts, but you got Matty Porta and Tib Foster, 3rd and 2nd. They're up top. They are also pretty fast here. Looking back through the grid, you got some other guys: Dusty Neal, Jay Jefferson, Stephen Wallace Jr., Gatlin Downey, Alex Fletcher in the 0-2 again. He's made a few starts. And there is Tib Foster. We'll talk about him real quick. He is a Mountain Dew Custom Series champion, as well as in that season number 3 of the MDCS. He got his only win in that series here at Road America. Dominant on the road courses. Got a win, I believe, at Most Sport last season in 2 in a row. Doing great on these RCs.
Yeah, Tib is definitely one of the guys to watch here on road courses. Again, won the last 2 races at Canadian Tire across the border. However, that success really hasn't translated to the rest of his races last season with Onjado. Finished 37th at both Road America and Watkins Glen. So was that win a fluke, or is Tib definitely a guy to watch on these road courses? I don't know. You be the judge. But definitely the 40 car, in my opinion, is one of the guys to be watching here on a road course like Road America, especially considering the amount of money Onjado has put into this Cup program with the 40, the 44, and the 25. Yeah, I'd expect to see Tib being one of the front runners and probably one of the favorites when we come back here in the regular season.
That's going to be good. And as we go through the field, looking at some of the drivers who are making their first starts, here is the fastest guy on track right now, Larry Hagan in the 21, who has put it to the top of the charts with TSR, but also Christian Vargas put the HBP entry 3rd quickest right now. He was fastest a little bit ago, but Edson and Hagan have both jumped them. We're going through looking at the drivers, of course, who have not participated in tests yet, and this is not Diego Yepes, Season 1 Mountain Dew Custom Series winner here at Road America. It's William Duncan in the 77 with a deal between Ditech and Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, getting this road course ringer who won at Watkins Glen in the MDCS last season a chance here in Cup.
Yeah, good to see William Duncan here out for this test in that famed Monster Energy 77 car. He'll be back at it again with Ditech for a full schedule in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, with also getting some races in the Crown Royal Truck Series. Hopefully he'll be able to get an attempt here in that 29 truck. But yeah, of course, got a win at Watkins Glen last season. Finished 23rd in his Mountain Dew Custom Series race here at Road America. So yeah, Duncan, always a threat on road courses, no matter the level. Everybody's here seeing him in such a powerful car like the 77. Probably scared of Duncan this weekend, and probably a lot of the veterans are going to be looking to him for advice on how to navigate this new series and this new car on this old track, because Duncan has proven that he is one of the best out there to beat on road courses, no matter what kind of car he's going to be driving. So yeah, keep an eye on Duncan today.
I was going on through, and I thought I saw some dirt down at the carousel. We're going to check. Ryan Butcher will check that shortly. But one driver I missed as we were going through, it's not Jacob Edson in the 82 like normal. Ethan Head, a Crown Royal Truck Series driver for SBR. He was the owner of OLSR, and the reason Mercedes joined the CRTS last season. He's up here second quickest for SBR. A great performance today for Ethan. Already just 10 minutes into this session as you got a battle between team owner partners Foster and Cloud, as Tibbs trying to pull himself past the 91 real quick. But Ethan Head for SBR looking to get this season rolling in the CRTS after an abysmal start to his career. He drove for SBR back in Season 4 in the NSDCS after he came back from his injury at Indianapolis. But Ethan Head doing real strong today, second quickest in the test so far.
Yeah, Head failed to qualify for the Crown Royal Truck Series race here last season with his own outside line sim racing. Ran the Mountain Dew Custom Series race here in Season 4, finished 5th for Ditech in that 67 car. So yeah, Head definitely has some success on this track. Didn't pan out in recent years, but he's hoping to get back to that in today's test. Definitely hoping to turn some quick laps in what is guaranteed to be a quick car, considering that Shade Burkhart Racing's putting it out on track. So yeah, Head's a guy. He's lucky to be back in the series, lucky to be back with such a great team like SBR and the Crown Royal Trucks this season in that 17 truck. So yeah, Head just looking to come out here and gain some more experience on these tracks where he's been inconsistent, been all the way up in the top 5 and has failed to qualify on multiple occasions. So yeah, the 82 car, definitely someone to keep your eye on if you're looking for drivers to be looking at for road courses this season.
Continuing on around, as you see now, Aiden Smith tops the charts with a 2-minute 7-second .5. So great job for Monster Motorsports seeing that speed here. Another driver who's in this field for the first time, Zach Rogers, pulling up in the TSR part-time entry, 6th quickest right now. And really that entire top 10, shocking to see most of those guys up there. Foster and Porta near the bottom of the top 10, but they are still inside the top 10. Zach Rogers, though, in this 28, driving for Texas Star Racing this season in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. Number 9 Raise Energy Dodge, looking to get that rolling, but after a pretty lackluster DPDS season, he's looking to get it really going this season in the MDCS.
Yeah, Rogers currently sitting 6th as he crosses the line. We'll see what that does to his time, and it looks like he moves up to the top of the leaderboard, if I'm not mistaken, if my eyes aren't failing me, with a 2-minute 7.3 seconds. For Zach Rogers. Of course, he's driving full-time for Texas Star Racing, Mountain Dew Custom Series. Ran a couple races in that series for Coors Light Racing. Finished 12th at the Glen, 31st at Road America. So yeah, Rogers, always one of the biggest threats on road courses. We didn't get a chance to run a road course in the Dash Series last season, so Rogers probably would have been much more of a threat if we went there. I believe we might go there to one of those courses this season. But yeah, Rogers hasn't really had a chance to show much of his prowess considering his lack of ability to get on a road course in a top series. But now that he's in a fast car, like the 28 this weekend and the 9 in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, Rogers is probably one of, if not the guy to beat on these road courses.
Looking further back, you got Peter Onchek. There is Matthew Eves in this 47 team. Of course, not very strong on the road courses. Only 25th fastest in that 47, but for CFRO, they're just happy to get out on track.
Yeah, Eves in his career has attempted road courses 7 times throughout the Mountain Dew Custom Series and the Crown Royal Truck Series, but has never finished in the top 10. But yeah, if I'm Matthew Eves, I'm just glad to have a full-time ride again. You know, he's bounced around, drove the 38 a while last season, as I see some more smoke there. I don't know if Rogers got off track or exactly what happened there, but yeah, if I'm Matthew Eves, I'm just simply happy to be back in a full-time ride, especially this 47. Who knows if there will be mid-pack, back in the pack, or if they'll be one of the cars to watch this season. But yeah, that Dodge has secured a lot of sponsorship. I know they announced this week that Procore will be on the car for the Sundrop 500. So yeah, good to see Eves back in a car, and hopefully it means some good success here to kick off this inaugural season.
And as we saw the 28 possibly kicking up dust, we're going to go ahead back and take a quick replay of that to see what happened. And it looks like just like how Matt Sladek did it, how a lot of drivers do it, got into the corner a bit wide, got out into the marbles and into the sand. A great job, though. A lot of people get caught up on those tire barriers. He slowed it down enough, got it turned around, and got through the sand. No damage to that 28 car, probably some to the undercarriage, getting some of that sand up inside the car, but Zach Rogers, great car control there. One of the top guys on track. He was able to get on through and continue on. Most likely we'll bring it to pit road, I'd hope, get those tires changed, but he did go off. Looking further back, you got Eric Monaco in the 72 as well. Sebastian Kukulon, they announced their full-time this season. Ryan Butcher in the 83, and there's Bobo Jones in the 95. This car went to the top of the charts last weekend at Chicagoland with Vince Freeze, but now Bobo in the car, a very fast road course racer himself. He's gotten third, I believe, at some track that Kyle Corbett will tell you about later on. But the 95 team here doing a great job. They've had a great testing schedule so far, now just inside the top 10 here at Road America.
Yeah, the 95 currently running 10th. We'll have to see where they fall after they cross the line here, running about a 208.0. Yeah, Bobo finished third at Watkins Glen in the Mountain Dew Custom Series last season. He'll be returning to that series full-time in the 77 with North Border Motorsports, his own team. But at this track, didn't see much success last season in the series, finishing 35th and then also 23rd at Old Spice. So yeah, Bobo has a little bit of road course success, and we'll have to see if that translates here. He's already in the top 10 and outpacing a lot of the veterans of the NSDCA, so we'll have to see if that continues here for this 95, which has seen a lot of success throughout the test so far early this season.
And continuing to look on through, but we'll take a look instead at the bottom group of the cars. The bottom 9 right now sit Ryan Butcher 21st fastest, Eric Monaco 22nd, Jay Jefferson very far at the bottom in 23rd. A lot of fans probably enjoying that after the dominance that we may see from this 48 car this season. 24th quickest is Carter Friesen, 25th quickest Sebastian Kukulon, then Matthew Eves, Stephen Wallace Jr., Gatlin Downey, and Brady Burkhardt at the bottom. That right there, those bottom 9 count for 8 full-time drivers, so that's interesting to see out here. But another driver you always got to talk about at road courses, Matty Porta. He's a driver who has always had the speed. He's qualified up front. He's ran up front at the road courses, especially Watkins Glen, but he has no wins on the road courses. Just a bunch of heartbreak for this 20 team. They're hoping with a lot more chances this season, and these new Cup cars, they might be able to get into victory lane.
Logan said it last time around. He is always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Finished 4th year last season in the Crown Royal Truck Series, 2nd at the Glen. Yeah, he's got another full-time effort with Sauber in the famed 20 car with those Castrol colors this season. A few other sponsors hopping on board with them. Really excited to see some more partners joining up with Sauber for a full run in the Cup Series. But yeah, hopefully this is the year for that 20 Dodge. Obviously going to a few road courses. Hopefully Road America will be one of them. But yeah, definitely Porta has those dates circled on his calendar for when he can get back onto one of the non-ovals where he can hopefully succeed and bring some success to Sauber Racing, who has been really longing for a win from their Italian stallion in Porta.
Of course, Sauber Racing Team, one career win in the NSDCA, coming back about 2 years ago at Watkins Glen with Alex Kraft of all drivers. And of course, if Peter ever gets back into the booth on a road course, he'd love to tell you about how Sauber signed and fired Alex Kraft once again. But anyways, we're going around. One new car on the track. This will be driven by DJ Gibson in the number 53 this season, once DJ comes back from recovering from his injuries, hopefully within the first few weekends of the season. But Brandon Morris, driver of the number 55 Butcher Gatorade Motorsports entry, they didn't want to bring the car out because of Morris's crash at Pocono. Had a couple crashes, cost that team a lot of money, so he went over, asked Zachary DeLello if he could drive this 53, get the team ready for DJ to get into the car, and he's out here. Not the best road course racer, but he's driving right now up in the 22nd position, so he's fallen back. But Morris right now in that 53 car making some laps out here at Road America.
Yeah, I don't know how Morris feels about For Real Ice Cream, but he certainly probably isn't feeling too good about this road course attempt. Again, running 22nd on track in the Zachary Racing car. Yeah, kind of fitting that he's in this ride this weekend, considering he's finally returning to full-time action after injuries and lack of NSDCA clearance kept him off track for most of last season. But yeah, he's back, not in his normal 55 car with Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, but honestly in what could be a faster car here with Zachary Racing, one of the richest teams in the series. So yeah, we'll see what Brandon can do in this 53 car, maybe helping DeLello and the guys get up to speed in this Ford.
Looking further back as he goes off and probably into the tires, and that he will.
Oh, wow.
And Evernham Racing, their number 79. is going to go off into the grass with Jeffrey Finguy, and that is a torn-up race car for that team. And that is heartbreaking for Evernham, a team with not much funding. They do have the TSR satellite change now, so hopefully TSR will be able to help with the funding. But Finguy just gets wide in the carousel, and unlike Zach Rogers, he goes too far off and out into the tires goes the 79 with the horrible camera angles that are in the carousel. And a torn-up 79, that's going to be a backup, and that's heartbreaking for Evernham. We were just about to talk to him, but now his day probably done. Not going to be too much time left to get the second backup out, get him back on track. But Finguy, just happy to finally be in a steady ride at Evernham.
Yeah, such a shame for Finguy in that 79 car as we now pay attention to the 006, which was leading for a while for parts of this. Looks like he's running about 6th, if I can read that correctly, on track. We'll see if it does anything to his time this time through. Looks like he'll stay in that position for Vargas for the moment.
And that lap was about 3 seconds off of his best lap. That might also attribute to Larry Hagan, who looks like he's just taking... He came down pit road, got back out on an outlap. Carson Bowers, 22nd. He hasn't been a road course racer by any means, but of course, your defending champion. Only 22nd quickest right now on track. 23rd is more drivers starting to speed up over them. And as we were talking about Jay Jefferson, there he goes up into the 5th position. So that's not what the fans wanted to see, but Jay showing that he still has speed everywhere. With about 10 minutes left in this testing session, I'm just going to go real quick, see if there's any driver who has not made a start yet in these tests that we can talk about here as they all go on around. And it looks like we have covered those 12 guys or so that weren't in this. But I guess we can go back up, talk about some of the drivers who are at the top of the charts that we have. And Ryan Butcher, heavy front-end damage to that 83. And it looks like the 12 has some rear-end damage to that. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what that is from. I think I have a place to guess where it's from, because this corner down here, we'll see if it happened coming into turn number 4, I believe. And that it does. Butcher dives it on in. No, he just hits the back of him. So we'll continue on around and see if we can find where this happened. It might have been down in, I believe it's Canada Corner, but Peter's not here to tell me what the track is. I don't know if Corbett looked at that, but down here at this corner, Butcher just drives into the back of the 12, and that's some damage to both of those trucks.
Yeah, I believe that is Canada Corner, and that's such a shame for that 12 car. Kukulon really needed some road course experience this weekend to help. You know, he only has one top 20 last season in the Crown Royal Truck Series on road courses. It was a 12th here at this track. Yeah, Kukulon really didn't need to see that damage on what already is a scarcely funded... Oh, and we have a huge crash right here in about turn 4 or 5 or so. Looks like the 30's involved, the 72. That's Eric Monaco. Wonder what happened here if we can get a replay.
That's the O2 of Alex Fletcher, though Smart Motorsports does have the same basic painted cars. It looks like Fletcher, he's coming off a pit road, trying out for another lap. And the 30, you see him back there, is going to drive on in. And it looks like he just hits him in the back, thinking, I don't know where he thought Fletcher was going. They both slide Sladek up the track, and then Fletcher into the tires, hits the tires, and both of them damaged. So that is another SBR car that is damaged. And Matt Sladek not having a good time at Road America this past year and a bit. But that's some heavy damage to both of those drivers here at the closing laps of this test.
Yeah, Matthew Eves probably is not a happy camper right now. I'm sure his car's hurting, 7, and his wallet's hurting after seeing the 30 and the 83 suffer damage. Yeah, not sure what Sladek is doing, especially that most of the session for him is going to be him proving himself to those out there that he can handle the hardest cars on these road courses. But he's not doing a good job of proving that right now in this 30 car.
And yeah, he is basically SBR's road course ringer. However, with Ethan Head bringing it on in, they might be able to see that as well. This corner, definitely, if you're sitting behind someone, it could be devastating to get through. But turn 1 and Canada Corner, all troubled spots on this track due to the heavy braking zones. So we'll have to watch there. Butcher back out on track, trying to get that backup car some laps in here, trying to get that tuned out. The rest of the field coming on around Morris, and there's the 0-2 coming back out of Alex Fletcher. There is Ethan Head, Logan Cloud on pit road. But yeah, 6 minutes left in this test session. Looks like Matty Porta might have some damage too, so we'll go ahead and take a look and see what that is everything's starting to pop off in these closing laps. And it looks like Porta, another one, very experienced driver. He's driven Road America even outside of the NSDCA, but he just goes off into the corner. He's going to clip that tire barrier, unlike Finn Guy, who kind of just stuffed it in there, but that's still going to be some heavy damage and a price to pay for Sauber Racing as we come to the end of this testing session. Still 6 minutes to go, though.
Yeah, Porta, a little bit of a Darlington kiss there coming out as we pay attention to some of these drivers. Looks like there's the 47 again, not having the best day, currently running 27th on track, quite a few tenths behind the leaders. In general, as we see, there's the 0-2 as well of Alex Fletcher, still with some damage. Yeah, a lot of these damaged cars obviously aren't going to have very good lap times. It's a shame to see a lot of these cars needing a good run today to get some upgrades to help their efforts, but also good for a lot of these R&D cars, these smaller cars that are having great runs on the road courses today, like the 28, the 06, obviously. Yeah, a lot of these cars having great times. It's going to be incredibly helpful on their efforts to secure some upgrades and secure possibly a great season ahead of them.
As you see right there, as they're coming down, Matt Sladek unable to get himself down to pit road as DeLello looked to the inside, so he's going to have to race around with a damaged car once again. Hopefully it does not cost anything else. As you see, Porta, that team went to work on that. One driver that's having a horrible test session, Brady Burkhart, this entire time. 29th quickest, slowest on the track. It does not look like he's doing too hot on these road courses already. We've never seen him really run well on road courses, but you wouldn't think he'd be doing that badly in an SBR team.
Yeah, a little shocking to see the 99 this far down. I mean, Burkhart did finish 38th of 40 last time out here in the Crown Royal Truck Series. Followed that up with a 34th at the Glen. Did get 8th at Mosport, but that was after a little bit of carnage early on in the race that he was able to work his way through. So yeah, Burkhart obviously not known for being much of a road course ringer by any means. But yeah, still surprising to see, given kind of the talent level of drivers and cars here out on track at Road America, that he will be dead last thus far and probably to finish unless he's able to pass some of the cars in terms of times around him.
And of course, with this end of the session, we're just going to go ahead real quick and let you guys know the running order. Right now, it is Zach Rogers in a fantastic performance for TSR's part-time entry. He is the fastest on track with the 05 of Aiden Smith. Great job for him in second. William Duncan, third quickest. Larry Hagan, fourth quickest, a driver who has won here last season, the NSDCS. Fifth, Ethan Head. Sixth, Jay Jefferson. Seventh, Christian Vargas, and a great performance for HBP. Peter Onjak has snuck that 44 into eighth. Ninth, Alex Fletcher. 10th, DJ Curtis. Do you see anyone in that top 10 that kind of shocks you for being up there that high?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly wasn't expecting Alex Fletcher to have that great of a race. Not exactly the best road course guy. Aiden Smith, considering all the poor performances and tests he has and the very few top 10s he had in modifieds, it's just insane to see him do this well in his first time in a cup car and on a road course in general in the NSDCA. He's running up there second. He's running up there with a lot of the ringers, such as Duncan and Rogers. And of course, a lot of these cars are pretty equal right now, given it's the start of the season. But boy, Diego Yepes has got to be the most excited guy in town, even though he's not at the track this weekend. He's got to be over the moon, overjoyed to see this 05 do so well as some of his other cars like the 95 doing well this weekend.
Yeah, and a lot of guys up there. Some of that top 10 are road course guys that were brought in for this race weekend for racing. But two guys you don't see up there. Matty Porta, 11th fastest. Tib Foster, 12th fastest. Both road course drivers. Porta, of course, doesn't have the wins to show for it, but Tib, of course, 3 road course wins in the NSDCA, along with his win at Iowa. Further down, you see the 30 of Matt Sladek, still putting in a great performance, even though he did trash the car. But obviously, those two guys getting together, heartbreaking for that. Jeffrey Finn guy, who went off at the carousel, 14th quickest for Evernham. 15th is the 83. That's Ryan Butcher. Then you got Zachary DeLello. Bobo Jones, 17th fastest. And then near the back, it's Cody Goforth, Logan Cloud back there. And there goes the 27 right into the back of Foster.
Not sure what the 27 of Goforth was doing there. I mean, Goforth has never exactly been great on these road courses. Finished outside the top 30 in his last 3 trips here in the Crown Royal Truck Series. But yeah, that was just a boneheaded move running into the back of that car of the 40 there. Yeah, not sure what Goforth is doing, but MBM probably not exactly pleased with an 18th place run here on the road course today. Obviously, he's better than a lot of drivers, but yeah, not sure exactly what Goforth is doing out here.
One other driver to make a note of, the driver who won this race last season, only 19th fastest. Now, he was pretty slow at Chicagoland until he got up to a strong start, but we only have probably time for one more lap, this lap for Cloud right here, to finish up. Only 19th quickest. That's pretty heartbreaking for P2M right now.
Yeah, Carter Friesen's probably not too happy about Pedal to Metal's performance. Only 19th fastest despite Cloud being able to win off some pit strategy last year. 39th at Watkins Glen for him last season. Got a 5th at Mosport, though. Yeah, not Cloud's definitely been a light switch driver off and on at these road courses, but right now, not really showing the speed everyone expected the title contender last season to show.
And one thing to notice as we're into this final few seconds, Dusty Neal just threw himself up to third quickest. Didn't talk about him this race, but he is full-time for the CFRO team. We'll go ahead and just take a look at his car real quick there. He is now third quickest. But then we go to the bottom again. Gatlin Downey, finally not going to be last in the grid, but only 21st quickest. Stephen Wallace Jr., 22nd. Bowers not really strong at these road courses, it appears. He's only 23rd fastest. Morris 24th, but he's kind of just doing it to help Zachary Racing get some time. As he moves to 25th, we'll see who just moved up a bit there. 26th fastest is Eric Monaco. 27th, Carter Friesen with an abysmal day as well. 28th is Kukulon. 29th, Burkhart, and the driver who just moved up front, I believe it was the 95 of Bobo Jones. Might have just picked up a few spots, but as we are coming to the end of the testing, these guys going to be on their last lap trying to get that good time. Out of this bottom group, who do you think, other than Burkhart and Cloud, who do you think's another surprise maybe down this far in the grid?
Yeah, I mean, Gatlin Downey obviously hasn't been great, so definitely not a surprise to see him this slow. I'm surprised to see Morris this slow, to be honest with you. I figured Brandon Morris in that 53 car may have been able to make some things work, helping that car out because we've seen it have some speed. Obviously, Gibson's a great driver, and we knew that the Zachary Racing Fords were going to be ones to watch right out of the gate this season. Also surprised to see Kukulon down here this slow. Figured, he's had some great tests so far in that 12 Ford for Rockstar Energy Racing. They've had some great runs at all levels thus far, as we saw Tip Foster on pit road a minute ago. So yeah, surprised to see Kukulon down here as well. Was hoping that he could pick up some more speed in this session, but I guess we'll have to settle for 28th fastest out of 29.
As we were going through, Ethan Head appears to have some front-end damage, and it looks like the 47 might have a little bit on the bottom, or on the back, as you see the rear end just bent in a little bit, so those two must have collided down in turn 4 again. We'll get a replay of that before the end, as Morris was about to go off track. But 42 seconds left in this testing session for these guys to get around, do their final laps, as Burkhart actually picks up a few spots, 26th fastest on his last lap, so they must have been saving till the end. That drops Kukulon and Friesen and Monaco now down the course, but a couple drivers getting damage. SBR going to have a major damage total here as we come to the end of this session. But it's been pretty exciting, pretty good to see, and a lot of underdogs up there, but it will be Zach Rogers surprising everyone, and he will be the fastest out on track if I can find him as we come to the end of this test session.
Yeah, probably one of the happier guys leaving Elkhart Lake will be Jay Jefferson, seeing, 3 of his cars, I believe, finishing in the top 10. You have the 28, the 21, and the 48 all up there. Yeah, I mean, great runs today for these TSR Dodges. They've done a lot of work securing sponsorship, and getting these drivers prepped and ready to go run a full schedule and hopefully win a title, whether it be the 21 or the 48. But the 28, obviously, going to do a lot for their R&D development on road courses this season with this win here in testing.
That is a great run for them. We will, of course, update you with the standings in the Discord after this testing session. Zach Rogers, Aiden Smith, Dusty Neal, William Duncan, Larry Hagan, some surprising faces make up the top 5. Many torn up trucks or cars here for SBR and other teams, and we'll have to see how that will affect this next testing session for the SDCS out at Dover while they run in conjunction with a CRTS test at an unannounced road course for right now. I want to thank Kyle for joining me in the booth for these 30 minutes of testing, and I thank you guys for all being there for this time out. And I just forgot, I will get you guys the replay for Ethan Head's incident there. It probably was the same thing, and I will go ahead and bring this up real quick for you guys if we can get to Ethan there. And whoops, yes, it was down here. Head just outbrakes himself. Eves up in front in that 47, and Head just drives it into the back of the 47. So the third SBR car to have some damage here. That's heartbreaking for them. But as we said, we thank you guys for tuning in to the NSDCA Sun Drop Cup Series here at Road America, the testing session there. And I thank, again, Kyle for joining me in the booth. Thanks, you guys, for watching, and we'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.